You know, it's a really great country, but you got to be really, really sharp, because people in India are really sharp. Now, I didn't understand the meaning of that. But I arrive in Mumbai, I'm walking past the Taj Hotel day one, and this little beggar girl comes up to me, running up to me, like this, and says, money, money, give me money. I said, no English. Then she said, mujhe paisa do. I said, no Hindi. Then she spoke to me in French, she spoke to me in Japanese, she spoke in Italian. Because these guys, they know, right? All these tourists are going all day long. So I'm thinking, wow, this is like crazy. I have a multilingual beggar who's speaking languages, you know? And I felt so uneducated at the time. So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to give money, because I don't give money. I really don't give money. I'd rather give food, or I'd rather give knowledge. That's two things I want to give. So I said to her, I'm not going to give you money, but I'll give you some food. No, I don't want any food, I want some milk powder. That's quite reasonable, right? So she showed me her sister and said, for her. And this little girl looking at me like that. It's a good selling strategy, right? So I go to the shop, I buy the biggest tub of milk powder I can find, and I give it to her. She's happy as Larry the Lamb. I think 6 months of milk, sorted out. She runs, and I wonder why she's running. She goes about 5 shops later, sells the milk powder, and gets the money, all right? So now I'm thinking to myself, wow, what an entrepreneurial country. Like, this is insane. Right, so I'm looking at this, and my friends are thinking, wow, what a bunch of cheaters. I'm now thinking, no, they're not cheating. This is entrepreneurship. It starts on the ground. It's like grassroots. So I'm fascinated by this, right? And I met this guy who owns Videocon, Mr. Doot. I don't know if you know him. Doot, D-H-O-O-T. So I met him once, and at that time, Bill Gates was coming to India. And piracy is like common here, right? If you bought a computer without pirated software, that computer would be illegal, right? You'd have to get pirated software. So at that time, Windows was like pirated everywhere. You know, they were selling them on the streets. You know, you can go down, even now you can do 4 bungalows. The guy sells Windows on the streets. Brilliant. This is entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? So I speak to him, and he's telling Bill Gates is coming, and you know, I asked Bill Gates, he did, not me. He asked Bill Gates, why the hell are you coming to India? 95% of the population pirates your software. But Bill Gates said there's still 5% of the market. It's a big country, right? So I'm saying it's all about perspective. So all of a sudden I'm, thinking to myself, I've got the drive, I've got the desire, I've got the skill set. I come to India, I get battered, I get hammered. There was a point one day I was sitting. I remember this Johnny Road station. I'm standing outside there, and I'm like, this is my friend. What do I do? So I said, I'm going to go left or I'm going to go right. If I start walking left, it means I'm going to London. I'm getting the hell out of here. Because in a year, there was so much drama in my life that I'd never experienced it. It was like really bad. So then what I do, when I'm in doubt, I normally call my father. So I rang my dad. I said, Dad, I gotta get out of this place. It's just, I can't handle it. It's too much. He said, what's wrong? And he knows what's wrong. When he goes, have you done anything wrong? I said, no, I swear by God, I've done nothing wrong, but this system here is never going to allow me to live. It's just too difficult, I can't handle it. He said, if you come home, I will kick you out of the house. If you want to go to jail, face it, but you are not coming back home. So my left-right decision disappeared. I made a decision. I said to myself, okay, what's the worst case scenario? I'm going to get battered, I'll get bruised, I've done nothing wrong, and I know that at the end of the day, if you're a good person, good things happen to you. I just have this philosophy in my head. So it's really strange, because the moment I made my mind up, everything changed. The whole world changed for me. Because now, because I decided to fight the battle, I'm meeting people that are helping me. I meet a guy called Mr. Shivanandan, who was the Commissioner of Police recently. What an incredible man. What a wonderful human being. One of the best human beings I've ever met in my life, because he's the only, well, not once say only, at that time, he was the only police officer I'd ever met. At that time. And he said to me, you've done nothing wrong. Anyone gives you trouble, you come and see me. And he stood by. It was brilliant. And then I went to meet some politicians who were on the same side of the idiot who was giving me a hard time. And there was a BJP politician I met. The most incredible man I've ever met in my life. He stood by me and he supported me like you cannot imagine. On the other side, some other guy, some politician, took 1 crore rupees off me, and I never saw him again. Never. And that's a different story by itself. So I've got a whole bunch of stories. But you're living in India, the land of opportunity. It wasn't then, it is today. You're going to have more millionaires in this country in the next 20 years than anywhere on the planet. Fact. The whole world is coming to India. Fact. Go to the FRRO, the Foreign Regional Registration Office, where foreigners go to register when they first come. When I first came to this country, there were 3 people in the waiting room. Now there must be 500 a day coming. Only in Mumbai, maybe more. This country is right now in the spotlight for the rest of the world. And I'm not kidding you, when the big M sign comes to India or to any country, you know it's going to be followed by everyone. So you're in the land of opportunity. You have 1 billion people. If you start any business, no matter how good you are or how bad you are, you can never fail in India. Because you have 1 billion people. So even if you sold used underwear, you will become a millionaire. Because there is a market for that too. I met a guy when I first came, he used to collect those lighters, you know, the refill of the lighters, the throwaway lighters. He used to refill them up and sell them. Now, huge business. I know another guy that collects pens, you know, the pens that you finish and makes furniture out of them. So my point is, it's a huge market. Even if you did not export anything abroad, you have a huge population, you cannot go wrong. It's impossible. So now if you don't take advantage of this, then whose fault is that? It's your fault. You've got a government right now that is promoting business. Whether it's good or bad, that's a personal opinion. I'm not even interested in that. But I see progress happening. You've got a situation now where you're in a country where at least 300 million people speak English, which is better English than even the English people do, which is true. Your education system is far, 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 far more better than any European or American country, up to university level. But after that, something goes dramatically wrong. I don't know. But up to university, you guys are brilliant. Because you get a kid in the UK to come to India to study, say between the age of 12 or 13, he'll be put down at least 3 standards. That's how good your education is. You've got family unity. It's still present. Unfortunately, it's changing, but it's still there right now. You've got accessibility to money. There's so much money in this country, it's unreal. So getting money or finance is easy. And even if you've got family connections, there's always ways of raising funds through your family. So everything is in place. The jigsaw puzzle for the biggest, the greatest business dream ever is present in this country. It's present. Now, I know, God knows best, of course, but I know from my own perspective that in the next 5 years, my business is going to grow 10,000%. I know. How do I know that? I just know. It's not some wishful thinking. I'll tell you how I know in a second. But I also know that there's going to be more failures, and I'm using the word failure. I hate that word, but I'm using it to give you understanding. There's going to be more failures in the next 5 years than ever before. So you have a choice. There's a right way or there's a wrong way. And there is a right or wrong way to do it. Let me tell you the wrong way. The wrong way is what most people do. They'll think of an idea. Great idea. And 2 weeks later, the idea is already in action. No planning, no organizing, no documentation, no future pacing, nothing. They have no idea. So they think, if I get money and I got a product, I'm going to do well. But I know, and I'm sure you know, that 95% of success is psychology. 95%. I don't care how big or great your idea is. I don't care how wonderful your organizational skills are. If you don't have the vision and you don't have the capacity to think large, there's no way on this planet you're going to achieve greatness. It's not possible. So what people do is this. They normally work on their results. I want to start a business that's going to be $10 million a year selling jackets. Because I've got a friend of mine that owns a factory, for example. Now, the targets are all based upon this. So I ask myself a question, is do I have the capabilities? Let's take an example. If I picked, let's say you picked me. You don't know me that well, some of you, but let's say you picked me, and next to me I had Ratan Tata. Who would you go first to with a business opportunity? Who would go with Ratan Tata first? I would. Why would you go to him first? Because you know that if he takes on my idea, if he takes it on, you're guaranteed and assured that it's going to do great. Do you agree? Would you agree with that? How many of you agree with that? Say yes. So I'm saying to you that most people start their businesses with a great idea. They get really enthusiastic. They go towards starting their business and they flop. Because by the 5th year, it's like a marriage. Most marriages collapse after 7 years. But most businesses collapse after. It's called the 5-year